Hello, welcome. So this practice is for the psoas. I love working with the psoas. I think it's my favourite muscle to work with. Yeah, and it's kind of like what got me into yoga as well, to be honest with you. So the psoas, it's about 16 inches long. It's the longest muscle in the body. And it comes from the lower back, from T12, and it comes from both sides of the spine and travels down round through the back of the pelvis, through the back, and then attaches to the inner thigh. So it's a real big muscle. So it attaches the top half of your body to the lower part of your body. And it's your fight or flight muscle. So yeah, you can think of your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. So fight or flight, rest and digest. So this practice, we're going to be going into the rest and digest and doing a little bit of hydrating of the psoas muscle. So it's a very gentle practice. It'll be about 20 minutes long. And we will be, I think, mainly lay on our backs. Yeah, so make sure you've got something comfortable to be lay on. And yeah, let's begin. So come and lay down on your back. And as you place your body on the ground, just making sure that you're really comfortable and you feel supported and at ease and safe and warm. So if you want to put anything over your hips, like a blanket or a scarf, it's a really nice thing to do. So if you've not done that before, I'd really recommend it. Okay, so to begin, so a great pose for the end of the day or any point in the day. If you feel your lower back or anything, you've got any niggles, just lie down and place your back body, so the back of the head is on the ground. Both of your shoulders are evenly spread across the ground. Your arms are wide by the body with the palms facing up. Push down through your feet and lift your back of your bum off the ground, and then place your bum down on the ground. And your feet are parallel and they're a little bit of a distance away from your bum, and then allow your knees to rest on each other. So now in constructive rest, which is lovely to release the lower back and find a little bit of length as well through the spine. And also release. And it's releasing the hip flexors, so the front of the hips. As well as allowing the shoulders, so the back of the pelvis is releasing down. Back of your shoulders. Well, you don't have the front of your shoulders, do you? Your shoulders are spreading on the ground. And then if you like, we hold a lot of tension in the shoulders. I hold a lot of tension in my shoulders. So perhaps it's a nice encouragement to direct your breath. So take an inhale and really fill the space of the front of the left shoulder and the left chest. And on the exhale, as the breath empties, really feeling the weight of the left shoulder and the left arm, releasing down. And do the same on the right side. Take an inhale and allow the right side of the chest to fill with your breath. Perhaps feeling it rise a little bit away from the ground. And on the exhale, feeling the right shoulder get heavier and weigh down a bit more, and the right arm might open out a little bit more. Maybe tuck the chin in slightly to get a little bit of length in the back of the neck. Just be aware of the breath as it comes and it fills the lower belly and the ribs and the back body's pressing on the ground. As the breath reaches the tops of the lungs, tops of the shoulders, and then the exhale, emptying out from the top down. So the lungs from the top, the chest empties, and the ribs softening, the belly gathers back to the spine. Just following your breath. As the inhale comes, the lower belly expands, the ribs expand, the sides, and then the tops of the ribs. Tops of the chest, and the exhale to release the weight of the back body, releases down into the ground, and the belly hollows back down towards the spine. Take an inhale here and allow the knees to part. We'll draw the right knee in towards the right armpit or the right chest, and then your hands can interlace on the lower leg as you extend the left leg along the ground. The left leg's quite active here, so extend your left heel towards the bottom of the mat and flex the toes up towards the ceiling, and take an inhale and feel the lower belly expand into the thigh as you extend the left heel. And on the exhale, have a little bit of a pull down of that right thigh, down towards the belly as the belly empties. And then take another inhale as the belly expands and the left heel extends. The chest fills, and on the exhale, the shoulders soften, the belly empties. And pull the thigh down a little bit, extend that heel. One more breath. Inhale, the lower belly expands. The chest rises and the heel extends to the bottom of the mat as the toes flex up. And then the exhale, releasing all effort, the shoulders soften, the jaw softens, and you pull your thigh down a little bit. The left foot comes back down to the ground as you bend that leg. And then we'll extend the right foot up towards the ceiling, and then the left foot up towards the ceiling, and then the arms can be by the body, and we're just going to point the toes on the inhale towards the ceiling, and the exhale, flex them back towards the face. Inhale, point your toes, just opening up the ankles, and then exhale, flexing them back towards the face. And you're going to also just keep going. Inhale, point the toes up, and the exhale, the toes flex back towards the face, and keep going with this. Start to feel the relationship between the hips, the knees, and the ankles. And you might feel aches in places that you wouldn't expect to feel. Let's do two more. Inhale, flex the toes, point the toes even. Exhale, flexes them. Real good flex. And then inhale, point. Exhale, flex. And then both feet will come back down to the ground. And this time the left knee is going to come towards the left armpit or the chest. And then your hands can come onto the lower leg. Extend your right leg along the ground. The heels extending away, the toes are flexing up towards the ceiling. And then we'll bring the mind to the breath. So the inhale comes and the lower belly expands and the right heel extends to the bottom of the mat. Exhale and the belly empties. Encourage the thigh down. The shoulders soften. Inhale, the belly expands and meets the thigh as the right heel extends, and the exhale, the weight of the thighs encouraged down by your hands. Starting to feel some warmth perhaps around the left hip crease. Inhaling expands your lower belly, right heel extends. Exhale, release all the air out. Shoulders soften, jaw softens, everything releases. Oh, and we'll take one more final breath. Inhale, the lower belly expands. And then exhale and release. And then you can bring both knees in towards the chest. Oh, exhale here, both knees in. And inhale, both legs reach up, toes flex back. Exhale, the knees release down towards the chest. Inhale, the heels stretch up, the toes flex back. Exhale, the legs soften, and the legs are bent. Empty the air out. Inhale, you find length through the backs of both legs. Flex your toes. Exhale, release all effort. Thighs come down towards the chest. Let's do one more. Inhale, reach an extension up through those heels. Flex the toe back. Exhale, release. Come down. And the hands can come onto the knees as we start to circle the back of the pelvis on the ground. So as the arms extend away, come in the back, lower left pelvis, going towards the centre of the tailbone, over to the right lower pelvis, like a circle around the edge, around the right edge of the pelvis, to the top of the right rim of the pelvis, on the centre, above the sacrum, then over the left. And we'll do one more circle in this direction. So lovely rotation and massage of the back of the pelvis through to center and then round in the other direction. Circling. And the exhale, the knees are drawn in. Inhale. The thighs, the knees extend away. And then the feet will come down to the ground. You'll find your feet will become, can't speak, the width of the mat, so the edges of the feet are on the sides of the mat. Oh, and then the left knee, the left leg is going to stay exactly where it is. And then the right knee, your hands can be on your lower belly if that feels okay, or by the side of the body. So the arms are relaxed at the moment. So on the inhale, the right knee, it's like it's falling in towards the left ankle. And on the exhale, it comes back up. The right foot's flat to the ground. Inhale, the right knee falls in. So it's an inner rotation of that right thigh towards the left ankle. Exhale, the knee comes back up. Should feel quite nice. Inhale, the knee falls down with gravity. And exhale back up. This time we could bring the right arm in, if that feels okay for you. So on the inhale, the right knee goes down towards the left ankle and the right arm extends. You can stay here. So the right knee still towards the left ankle and the right fingers are extending away. As you're breathing up from the right, up through the right leg, front of the right hip, through the right ribs, the right armpit, the right arm, the right fingers, finding some length as you reach. And expand the whole of the right side of your body with your breath on the inhale. You'll really be able to feel that inflation. And on the exhale, allow the arm to just float back down to the side of the body as the right knee comes back up. And we'll come to the second side. So inhale, the left knee falls down with gravity towards the right ankle. The inhale brings the knee back up. And then Did I get that right? No, sorry. Inhale, the left knee comes down. Exhale, it comes back up. Inhale, the left knee comes down. Exhale, the left foot is flat to the ground. On the next lowering of the left knee, the left arm can rise up. So inhale, the left knee lowers, the right arm extends, any amount. Might not even touch the ground, mine doesn't matter. So take an inhale here. So inhale and breathing up through the left thigh, the front of the left hip, through the left ribs, feel them expand on the ground, the left armpit, the left arm, the fingers extending and reaching, finding some length. And the exhale is an emptying and release. And just take one more nice long breath here, tracing the edge of your body all the way up the left side, the left ribs, the left arm, through the left fingers. And the exhale releases, and the knee comes back up, and the arm floats back down by the side of the body. And you can bring your knees in. And just have a little bit of a rock from side to side. Okay, so bring both feet down to the ground. And I'm going to bring the right ankle on top of the left knee. And without using your hands, you could bring your right hand, actually, I'm saying without using your hands, now I'm telling you use your hand. Right hand can come to your right thigh. And this is just to give your right thigh a little bit of a push. I shouldn't really use the word push, an encouragement down towards the bottom of the mat. And you'll feel the right side of the pelvis land a little bit more onto the mat, the ground beneath. And then you can raise your left leg off the ground, the toes flexing back towards your face. That feels okay. And then if you would like to, you could start to make some little circles. Imagine with your right knee, you're making a circle. And then that's going to give a little bit of movement around the right hip, so the right toes can be flexing back towards the right knee. Create a little bit of safety around that right knee. Just finding some little fluid circles here. Just to get some rotation in the right hip, of the right femur bone, your big thigh bone, rotating and just having a little bit of a stir in your right hip socket. And then we'll release the left foot down to the ground, the right foot down to the ground. Allow your knees to rest on each other. And just rest for a moment. Just notice the difference between the two sides. If there is one, it's just information for you to know. And we'll come to the second side. So the left ankle is now going to go on top of the right knee, and the left toes can flex towards the left knee, feels okay. And then maybe you'd like to bring your left hand to near the hip crease of that thigh and encourage it towards the bottom of the mat. If you'd like to feel a little bit more of an opening around the left hip, see how it feels. Have a play. And then you may wish to release that hand as you bring the right foot up off the ground, any amount. And then with the right knee this time, just imagine you're drawing little circles with that right knee. And it can be a real slow movement. It can be a really small circle. Or do you want it to be a bigger circle? Maybe you go in between, but just taking some circles. And then when you've done in one direction, go in the opposite direction. Allowing the fluids, the synovial fluid, or not allowing actually, because it just happens with movement, starts to secrete out of the synovial membrane in the joint space. So with this lovely fluid movement of your big thigh bone and your hip socket, the membrane is secreting some fluid to lubricate your joint space. And when you feel complete with that, both feet can come back down to the ground. Oh, and the knees can rest on each other. Maybe you would like to bring your hands to your body. Perhaps you can feel a little bit of warmth around your hip creases, where the thigh bones are resting, into your pelvis a bit more easefully now, maybe. And to end this practice, we'll come into a floating bridge, but with the arms, if you have them alongside the body and the backs of the hands pressed into the ground. So on the inhale, if you press down through your feet, imagine from the inhale is coming from the feet. So inhale, push down through the feet, the backs of the hands, the forearms, and then the bum starts to rise. You push down through the elbows, down through the shoulders, the back of the head. And then maybe come onto the balls of the feet to feel the thigh bones come down at the hip sockets. And then push back down through the whole of the soles of the feet. So the balls of the feet and the heels and the tailbone is shooting up towards the knees. And on the exhale, slowly, slowly lowering down through the upper back, the middle back, the lower back, back of the pelvis, the whole of the pelvis. Allow the knees to rest. And we'll do one more of those. So on the inhale, the knees are parted now. Push down through your feet, the backs of your hands, your forearms, your elbows, your shoulders, the back of the head, your heart's rising, space between your chin and your chest. And pushing down through the balls of the feet, the inner foot, the heel of the foot. Feeling the tailbone pointing towards the knees. Pushing into the back of the head a little bit. Taking another breath here. And on the exhale, just release and really softly all the way down through the spine. Oh, the hands can land on the body, the knees can rest on each other. Back to constructive rest where we began. As we end the practice here together. So feeling the breath in the body as your body rises and meets your hands. And on the exhale, feeling the release, the emptying. Perhaps a little bit of length naturally happens in the back of the neck. Any little micro adjustments. Feeling, noticing the backs of the pelvis. Noticing the difference in the start of practice to now. Is there a little bit more space? A little bit more ease around the lower back maybe. Or maybe there's just more awareness of the body. And just taking your time. Just slowly, slowly transition out. Or you can stay here. Of course, you're more than welcome to stay. But if you're coming out with me, you can come and lay on one side in the fetal position. And where the top hand meets the earth, you very slowly, slowly